My name is Eduarda. I am born and raised here in Abreu de Una, Brazil.
Eduarda is a girl with great talent. She has a leader spirit. When we first started evangelizing to their village, we noticed how influential she was to the other villagers. And one of the people to notice this first was Brandon.
Volunteers for Christ has been leading trips to the fishing village for years, and we're always looking for signs that God is favoring the project or that we're making a difference in people's lives. And we're looking for leaders. And in Eduarda, we saw that she was, had the potential to be a great leader. The problem was she was leading people in the wrong direction. But we always knew there was something special about her.
The main problem here in the village is the financial problem. Because this is a fishing village, the people are limited with job opportunities. And then our next big problems are the drugs, prostitution, and alcoholism.
I think the kids in the fishing village are bored, and they just have nothing but bad choices. There are no good role models for the most part. You have young women that are being courted by older men. You've got the drugs, the alcohol, the sexual promiscuity, the prostitution. And really you end up having children that are having children, and it's just this vicious cycle. There's no way out for them.
Initially, my childhood was good, because when I was a kid, I didn't understand everything, especially the relationship between my father and mother. As I grew up, I began to understand the relationships. I began to understand their fights and the problems that we had. My father is a tough man to have a relationship with, because he drinks a lot. And when he gets home drunk, he is really angry.
When we first started evangelizing to the village, Duda was already a teenager, so she was already exposed to prostitution and alcohol.
And that is the moment I lost someone really important in my life. My cousin. He died in a tragic way, and I was angry with God. I thought it was God's fault. And I was asking God why. I started to drink and party more. And when I was at those parties, I would hear this voice in my head. This voice would say, "You're not supposed to be here. You don't belong here." But I didn't care. I thought I was going crazy. And every time I was at a party, this voice tried to talk to me. After a while, I felt empty. Nothing would fill me up. Nothing made me happy. So I decided to visit the church. Pastor Josue and Cesar talked to me. They asked if I wanted to help lead VBS, and I said sure. That day, there was a party near our village, so instead of going to VBS, I went to the party. A few days later, Josue asked to speak with me. What do you really want for your life? You need to choose. Do you want to be hot or cold water? Because lukewarm water makes God vomit. And Pastor Josue also said I didn't belong in the life that I was living, and God had a plan for my life. I began to understand, and I started to cry. Pastor prayed with me, and since that moment, I made the decision to be faithful to God.
In the last 3 years, we started to see a radical change in her life. You could see that Jesus was a part of her life.
I think Eduarda's life is just a beautiful testament, an outward manifestation of what God's doing in her heart. I mean, she's going to college. That's a credible commitment. She's a 3-hour trip just to get to school and come back. Because she lives so far away, she doesn't get to study with other classmates, so she has to be very self-motivated. There's no one there to help her. She's kind of on her own. You know, when she's not in school, she's at church. She's volunteer. She helps with Bible study for the children. She leads a drama and dance team there, which, you know, they practice every week. She's mentoring other girls there in the fishing village. She wants to learn English so that she can work with mission teams. Just everything about her life is trying to lead a life that would reflect what Christ is doing in her life.
Initially, because of her decision, she began to struggle with persecution. People around her wouldn't believe that she really is changing.
Eduarda still has loads of difficulties because she lives in a family where she can find support. Neither her father or mother support her Christian life.
When I struggle with these problems, I pray. And then I see the problems change. I pray a lot. And I know God has been answering my prayers. And I am very grateful for what I have and what I am. I am thankful because God didn't give up on me. The people from Abduruna never believed in me. But now the people see me with different eyes. If it wasn't for Volunteers for Christ and the VBS they hosted, probably many of the kids here who attend the church today wouldn't have a chance at Christianity. Instead, they would be in prostitution or drugs. With the help of VFC, now the kids have a chance to escape.
Eduarda is like a jewel hidden away from people. But not until now is it brought to the public for the people to see and to appreciate.
O artesão trabalha uma joia preciosa.